Well, yeah. Welcome, guys, to another Technical Tuesday. After this, I was called by the news today about our KR talks because the man made us famous. He made us famous. Can't go across the streets anymore. And by the sounds of it, Darren had a lot of yelling people in front of your house, right?
Yeah, I mean, it really put us on the map. I don't know what you've done to everyone, Shi and Jeff, but they've gone nuts.
Yeah. For the people who haven't seen it, please take your time. We opened up our first KR talks to even make the public go wider with Kyokushin, and we did it with the amazing Shi and Jeff Wybrow. It was a very good conversation. Very quick 90 minutes for us. We kind of had to stop because otherwise we probably would have still been sitting there and just talking. So that's how easy it was. There is a next one on the line. We won't say who this is yet, but it's another big one, so we can't wait. For tonight, Technical Tuesday, back again like the Renegade Master, Mr. Stringer.
Woo!
Up there.
So, I mean, first of all, thank you to everybody for being here. A couple of new faces, no mentioning to Richie, of course. Good to see you. So tonight, we're working on punches. So it's for everybody. Everybody can punch. Not everybody can kick. Potentially some of Wesley's spinning flamboyant kicks that he does and makes us do. But everybody can definitely punch. So hopefully it's something for everybody tonight. We're going to work on how to build a little bit of power, how to add some speed, and a little bit of a transition between potentially some basics and into fighting. So hopefully it's really enjoyable for people and they get something from it as usual, really. Apart from that, if you haven't seen the interview with the amazing wizard, I suggest you do, because it is, in my opinion, pretty cool. We've had some good feedback on it, and maybe we can get to like 1,000 views or something like that. be quite cool. So, anything else, Wes?
No, if anyone has a question, use the chat over here or there or whatever. We are here to help out, and otherwise, just enjoy the training.
Yep. Okay. Let's have a little loosen up before we get started, and then we'll get started on some punching and stuff. Right, so left arm, right arm forward. Ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, ish, ach, ki, ju, and back. Ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, shish, ach, ki, ju, and left arm forward. Ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, shish, ach, ki, ju, and back. Ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, ish, ach, ki, ju. Right arm forward, left arm back. Ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, shish, ach, ki, ju. Ante. Ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, shish, ach, ki, ju. And back. In, 1, 2, back. Ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, ish, ach, ki, ju. Good. And just the elbows. Ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, shish, ach, ki, ju. And ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, shish, ach, ki, ju. Around. Ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, shish, ach, ki, ju. And ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, shish, ach, ki, ju. And just the shoulders just a little bit more, and try and really push them forward here and open up the back and relax. Ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, ish, ach, ki, ju. And yes, we meet on this. Right, so I'm going to kind of transition from a few spots initially. I'm going to use still as a warm up because we're not very warm, especially not to start punching hard at the moment. Not that I want to do loads and loads and loads of hard punches, but we're definitely going to have to do some. So let's warm up a little bit. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and take us through a transition from kind of a kind of more of a raw basic format in Zenkuchidachi I'm going to use, come through a little bit more of a refined version. So if I can narrow this down, we take it from kind of a Japanese raw stroke power, good balance position to a little bit more of a refined rotational, cleaner IFK, I guess, if you could put it in that way, position, and then transition through to some fighting positions after that, okay? So when we're doing the more traditional Japanese versions, when we're going to be in like the likes of Zenkuchidachi, we're going to look to be just a little bit wider than we normally would, and we'd have a little bit more movement in our body than IFK would. IFK tend to be quite well focused, really good rotation here, and not much movement on the body. Now this does two things. It gives you a more efficient technique, but it also has a drawback in some ways because people don't understand how to potentially shift their weight as well, okay? Because if you watch many Japanese fighters, they always have incredible balance and incredible timing in the way that they deliver techniques. Yes, this movement in a basic format doesn't suit IFK members per se, but it does have a lot of benefits in it that flow through to other areas, okay? So let's use the first element as a little bit of a warm-up, try to understand where we're pushing off from, still keeping good balance, good core strength, etc. I'm not looking for a really wavy tree. I'm just looking a little bit of a shift between weights, okay? So as we start off in position, Zenkuchidachi, yoi! KRT, Shia! Okay, so IFK versions, you'd be looking for your toes are the outside of your shoulders, and the heels are just slightly outside the shoulders, okay? So this gives us pretty much from Morashidachi being shoulder width to the heels just outside. Good bend on the legs. What I want us to do is just take it out maybe an inch, not much more than that, okay? So we're going to start feeling that our base is a little bit wider, and we're going to be able to achieve this a little bit more without being like this in IFK version of Sanjin. Obviously, I'm not telling you not to do this. This is how we do gradings. This is the correct position to be in. As an exercise, we're using a wider stance, aka like they do in Japan. Okay? So, to start off with, we're just going to start moving from side to side ever so slightly. And we're just going to keep going for around about 100 of these, okay? So I'll be like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 100. Now, what I want you to feel like you're doing is not just swaying from side to side here. We need to start feeling this energy coming from the ground. So you should already be feeling the weights on the ball of your feet, because that's where you're going to spend 95, 98% of your fighting time. Shouldn't be on your heels at all. You might be a little bit flat-footed maybe when you start in Furudachi, if you're me. Okay, so we want to start pushing off these balls of the feet and just bringing the movement from side to side. Look how my body is. It's still upright. It's not leaning here at the moment, okay? So let's start off on that. Doesn't really matter which way you go. I'll take the count, and we're going to be doing roughly around about 100, okay? Hands wherever you like it. Ready? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 50 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 60 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, shish, hachku, ju, ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, shish, hachku, hachu, ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, shish, hachku, ni, ju, ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, shish, hachku, ju, ju. Okay, right. So we should have felt balance going from either side of the stance. The difficult bit is now adding in the timing of the punch. Okay, so let's start off really slowly, really relaxed at the moment. I would like a basic punch as we are just shifting our weight slightly from side to side. Still, this position is happening, not this, not too much rotation. Concentrate more on shifting from side to generate this movement. Okay, same thing. Let's do 100. Keep it nice and simple. And so left arm out, Shitatsuki, and ready. Ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, shish, ach, kyu, ju. Ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, shish, ach, kyu, ni, ju. Ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, shish, ach, kyu, san, ju. Ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, shish, ach, kyu, yon, ju. Ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, shish, hach, kyu, goju, ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, shish, hach, kyu, roju, ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, shish, hach, kyu, shiju, ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, shish, hach, kyu, ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, shish, hach, kyu, guju, ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, shish, hach, kyu, juju. Okay, and just relax now, right? Let's relax the feet off a little bit. Make sure you loosen the ankles. So hopefully right now we're getting used to shifting slightly from side to side. Obviously we don't fight that way. Okay, no one really fights with a really short stance like this, and most people don't tend to shift their weight from side to side. So we need to start to add in an element of IFK rotation here. Okay. Now, I always use rotation whenever I'm teaching. It's a fantastic method. It's an efficient method, and you can start adding power really easily. But what we're going to do is we're going to start combining it with the shifting from side to side with a slight over rotation from, per se, the IFK method of doing these things. Okay. Again, we're talking about a raw technique at the moment. Don't worry about it being too refined. We're definitely going to refine this later. Okay, so Fudachi, Senshidachi, yoi! Okay, Shia! Okay, take it just an inch wider to make sure that we're still in that slightly wider stance so we can still feel this going here. Now we're going to start building a rotation a little bit more. Remember, we want the pelvis pulled in. Don't hang the bum outwards here. Nice and straight. As we're pushing off, we're doing the punch, and we're adding the twist towards the end. As we're pushing off, we're punching, adding the twist towards the end. Remember, I shouldn't need to go through the basics. Shitatsuki, tatsuki, oitsuki. Okay, don't turn too early and then be doing this. Push, balls of the feet out, rotate in. Okay, I'm okay with a little bit of over rotation right now. We're not talking about strict basics. We're talking about developing a little bit of power as we go along. Okay, count will be a little bit slower, but it will be the same count, 100. Okay, because it's nice and easy at the moment. We're still trying to get the shoulders and everything warm, core stretcher. So left hand out, ready, ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, ish, ach, ge, ju, ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, ish, ach, ge, niju, ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, ish, ach, ge, sanju, ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, ish, ach, ge, yonju, ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, ish, ach, ge, goju, ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, ish, ach, ge, rokju, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rek, ish, ich, ke, kyuju, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rek, ish, ich, ke, kyuju, and Naori. Okay, so we've got a little bit of movement from side to side, a little bit of movement, twisting. So we've got our weight being pushed from either side, rotation going on at the same time. You want to say something? Ah, okay, sorry. Thought I heard you say so. So now we're going to start to add this forward motion at the same time. So I'm going to revert back to what I've done a couple of times over the last week or so, is we do non-contact fighting. And we see the likes of Taekwondo and the likes of everybody doing non-contact fighting. They're very sideways on. Now, like with the Japanese version of doing Shitatsuki, you get a lot of raw power, maybe not so much of the refined technique that we're used to in the IFK. Likewise, with the sideways movements of the non-contact form, we get lots of speed, but not necessarily lots of power. And don't worry, I'm going to bring this all together in a minute, so please bear with me. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to be sideways on, and we're just going to be relaxing this arm out. Don't go too square at the moment. We're not thinking about kyokushin right now. We're going to bring this all together in a minute. Okay, we're going to be in like a loose Taekwondo stance, if you'd like, maybe a little bit of a clicker stance. It's up to you how you're feeling. And we're just going to be there, jabbing out with the front arm. Just start to loosen this off a minute, because we're really going to start to add some power in the next few rounds, and then we're going to go over to my man. Okay, and hopefully I've warmed you up enough for what he's got planned. Okay, so let's go into a fighting stance. Kamadachi, left leg forward. Hey, shit! Okay, so really relax yourself, no tension. Just jab this out each time. Nice long technique each time. Okay, I'm going to take the count. I'm going to do 30 on one hand, change legs 30 on the other hand, and I'm going to try and bring this all together before we hand it over. Okay? Right, ready? Here we go. Ready? Action! 2, 3, 4, go, right, action, action, get, 2, action, 2, 3, 4, go, right, action, action, get, 2, action, 2, 3, 4, go, right, action, action, head, 2, last 10, 2, 3, 4, don't do too many, go, right, action, full side, action, head, 2, sorry, I knew it, as soon as I started that last 10, I was like, I've done too many. I'm there, other arm, right arm forward, remember relaxing at the moment, really try to knock it out nice and fast. Ready? Action! 2, 3, 4, go! Right, action! Action! Head, 2, good. Action! 2, 3, 4, go! Right, action! Action! Head, 2, action, 2, 3, 4, go, right, action, action, head, yeah, mate. Okay, so should be warming up a little bit here now. Might be because I got my heater on full blast and I like to be hot, but I'm definitely warming up. So let's try and join all of these forms together. We can't obviously stand too wide in our stance. We can't stand sideways on. It's not the way we fight. So how do we start to bridge these all together? The answer is you have to mimic a portion of that away through each position that we're going through. Okay? And every individual is going to be different. I don't punch the same way that Wesley does. His stance doesn't fit exactly the way mine does. She and Jeff is the same. She and Janine is the same. Damon's the same. Richie's the same, although Richie may not remember how to punch at this stage, so let's circle back to that one later. But effectively, we all have different power ranges and different ways that our body is set up. So ultimately, you have to find where that range fits in with yourself. Okay, myself and Wesley, we like a long base stance. Eastern Europeans, per se, they like a shorter range stance. But ultimately, we need to start thinking about now, when we're in the Sanshin, we're going to go strict IFK now. Okay, so shoulder width apart. Doesn't allow us this freedom so much of swaying side to side, which is good for us. This is how we like to deliver techniques. What we're looking to do is we want this hand nicely primed back so that straight away it's looking to go off on this quick, explosive start. Okay, now we can't tense up all the time here. So what we need to do is we still need to make sure that the ground is fitting in here and we are driving out nice and fast, and then that tension and that final rotation comes towards the end of the technique. And this is why I mentioned earlier, Shitatsuki, Tatsuki, twist, and bite that in at the last minute. Okay? Hopefully we're all understanding this. What you need to be doing is we're firing off this leg. They're 50-50, but we're firing off here with the hip, out, rotate, bite in at the last minute. Out, rotate, bite in at the last minute. And there's nothing wrong with having that good rotation towards the end of the technique. Core strong, IFK, remember, straight through, twist in this way. No sway or movement now. Everybody understand? Yes? Okay, a bit slow on the thumbs there, so I was thinking, oh, maybe not. Okay, so we're going to do 30 of these as strong and as explosive as you can. I'm not necessarily going to go each Nisanchi Gorok Shitatsuki. It's going to be a reactive count, but I need you to react and drive strong. Remember, feel the weight in the leg. The weight in the leg each time with a well-focused, executed technique at the end. Don't let it fall astray, okay? Let's go. Sanshidachi, oi! Okay! Shia! Shudanski. Okay, remember, shoulder width is the toes, heels just outside. Feel the weight, nice and equal. Pull the pelvis in nice and tight. Okay, left hand out for Chudanski is just 30. Random count. Ready? Action! 2, 3, go! Right! Action! Action! Head! 2, action! 2, 3, go! Right! Action! Action! Head! 2, 10 more. Action! 2, 3, go! Right! Action! Action! Head! Here!
Yeah.
Harry!
Nice shot.
Yourself a little drink. Remember the subtle difference between going here and here is purely control in the lower half. We can still feel the weight shift ever so slightly, but there's no movement, okay? Good one, guys. Over to my man. Bing!
Alrighty then. So now, after we get a quick little drink, we're going over to the next punch. And the next punch we're going to do is Shitatsuki, yeah? And we're going to do this Shitatsuki in Kiberachi, yeah? Very common technique within the syllabus we do, maybe within Ido Gaiko movement, stuff like that. We're going to use the Shitatsuki, but we're going to think about how to perform it properly, yeah? Most of the time, when people get tired, they will just use the arm, and we will go working the stomach muscles, and also we're going to use this into a little bit of a fighting position. Yeah. So let's start over and go to Kibarachi Shitatsuki. Yeah. So we're going to be over here. We're just going to open, and then we're going to step out into right Kibarachi. We're going to go to just forward doing Shitatsuki. Yeah. So Kibarachi, kamaite, shia. Good. All right. So we're going to bring up the left arm forward, and we're going to use the right arm into the punch. And what we're going to do right now, guys, is we're just going to bring the arm back and bring this into a straight line forward. Yeah, this is the warm up for this punch. Just a straight line, go forward. Don't go to the middle of the body, but go into a straight line. Yeah, 10 on the right, 10 on the left. Yeah, right. Ready? Here we go. Aish, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, shish, ash, ku, shia, malate, other side. Right arm is forward, straight line, left, forward. Ready? There we go. Ish, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, shish, ash, ku, shia. And Mawate, stand up, ease yourself a little bit. So what we just did, we pointed forward and you went in a straight line over there. So now we're going to use the core muscles doing the punch, and we're going to the side, kind of punching in the direction of our elbow. And now I really want you to focus about the movement whilst the legs are still going to be in Kibarachi. So you're going over there, going over there. 10 on the right, 10 on the left. Ready? Good. So you open up, left arm forward, legs gonna be in the same position. Ready? Ish. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Ruk, shish, ash, ku, shia, mawate, untie. Ready? Ish, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, shish, ash, ku, shia, and relax. Okay, so the third stage is what we're going to do is we're going to punch and bring ourselves from Kibarachi into Zengutsudachi, Yunshuho, and then punch over there and bring yourself back into Kiba, Zengutsudachi, into Kiba, Zengutsudachi. So we're gonna make it longer. We're gonna reach even more. We clear on this? No questions? No? Cool. So we're gonna be standing over here. I'm gonna be 1 and back, 2 and back. 10 on the right, 10 on the left. Ready? There we go. Ish. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Ruk. Shish. Ash. Ku. Shia. Mawate. Ready? Ish. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Rup. Sish. Ash. Cool. Shit. And ease up. Okay. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to do 20. Very good. And bring them into the middle, but with the right movement, with the tension of the body. And then we're going to use them into a little fighting sequence. Yeah? So 20 alternate through the middle and really driving the body into the punch. Yeah? Think about, don't move the legs. Don't be like very extreme. Keep it actually. Bang, bang, bang. 20 times. Ready? Good. Joy. Let's start from Joy. Joy, that's Joy. Keep it actually. Come on, take. Shit. Left arm forward. 20 times. Ready? Ish. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Rook. Ish. Ash. Cool. Shit. And ish. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Rook. Ish. Ash. Cool. Shit. And now ready. Good. Kick loose a little bit. So we're going to use 3 stages of doing this in a fight. Short range, mid-range, longer range. Yeah? We're going to think about being in a short stance. Opponent will be over there. All I'm just doing right now, step forward a little bit and punch it out like we did the first one. Yeah? So we're going to be down over there. Bang, over there, yeah? Move, short, bang, and back. The feet only like half a step forward. That's where you are, yeah? 10 on the right, 10 on the left. Then 10 on the right, 10 on the left with a mid-range, 10 right, 10 left, long range. Yeah, ready? Ish. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Rook. Shish. Ash. Cool. Shit. Malate. Right leg in front. Left arm punch. Yeah? Ready? Ish. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Rook. Fish. Ash. Cool. All right, left leg in forward. So now we're gonna stand like probably most of you will be standing in a fighting position. Left leg, right leg, maybe 2 steps forward. And this is the position where you like to be in, yeah? What I'm gonna do right now, because I'm going to do mid-range, I'm going to bring my right leg back, and then I'm going to make a really nice twist in the shita and come back. Yeah? Back and twist. Back and twist. 10 on the right, 10 on the left. Think about using those core muscles. Ready? Come on, Tay.
Okay. Cheers, Kai.
Ready? There we go. Ish. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Look. Fish. Malate. Right leg in front. Think about left leg stepping back. Long shita and come back to your normal position. Ready? Here we go. Aish. Knees. Sun. Sheave. Goes. Rook. Sish. Ash. Goose. Shitatsuki. Good. Now, left leg in front. So, what we're going to do is we're going to think about, we're in a long range position, a little longer stance, maybe like Darren and myself. Yeah, we love to have a longer stance. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to use my front arm. I'm going to step in and really drive in the front arm Shitatsuki. Yeah. So when I go forward, I'm over there, really driving the body and come back into a good position again. Yeah? 10 on the left, 10 on the right. Ready?
Whoosh.
Here we go. Aish. Knee. Sanch. Sheesh. Goes. Rope. Sish. Ash. Cooch. Slash. Okay, right leg in front. Long range. From the back leg. In and out again. Yeah? Ready? Eish. Eesh. Sanch. Sheesh. Go. Rook. Sish. Ash. Goose. Shit. Good. And take a little nip over to Darren.
Everybody okay at the moment? Are we understanding the transition, the execution? Do we feel stronger? Do we feel sharper? Is it rubbish? Okay, so I'm going to be using kind of like an aguchi come tataski a movement, and we're going to be focusing on from like Kyokosudachi. I'm going to use a similar method to what I did with Sanshin. So there's just going to be some little bit of movement now between the front and the back leg. Obviously in IFK, we know that we have 70% of the weight on the back leg, 30% on the front leg. In Shin-Kyokushin, I think they've got something like 90 on the back leg and 10 on the front leg. And then on a lot of other Japanese, they also have this weight a lot heavier on the back leg and the front leg straight. In IFK though, however, we have a prominent bend on this front leg, which actually helps us in this drive forward. And I'll show you what I mean. So when we are in said position, in a lot of the Japanese styles, they tend to be quite here with this foot going backwards. And yes, they transfer the weight quite well, but also if you start getting hit on this front leg, for me at least, maybe Francisco Filio was a bit different because he's a bit bigger, it's going to take effect on my skinny little legs straight away. So fortunately for me, the way we train in the IFK is we have this knee still forward, which is preparing this muscle for impact. So we're going to start using this here with either an aguchi type jab or a tataski, obviously just rotating round. So it's up to you. You can either go with an ago or a tate. It's much of the same movement. It's about the transition from the stance. So what we want to do is you want to think about here, keeping this weight nice and low as we transition this weight through. Now, the important thing about Kyokosudachi is we are 2 fingers off the ground. And Bernardo, you asked a question earlier about the ratio of balls to feet, and it varies. We are always 1 degree forward. That's regardless, okay? Now, as I'm pushing forward, obviously, there's a lot more weight on that front foot, and it's used as a braking position. So we push forward, we hit, as the weight is executed here, and then we pull back into position. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, I've still got a good bend on this. I'm not going here. This is very important. Bend straight. We are looking to transition forward. Okay, so now we're starting to think about the movements that Wesley's almost just done off of that last movement. We push off the back leg in, and then we push back off the front leg. Okay, this time we're going to simply transition this in a basic stance. Don't want to take too much time like I did on the first one, so hopefully we can do a lot less of the techniques now we're nice and warm as well. Okay, so let's go into position. We're going left leg forward into Kokotsudachi, normal IFK length, or if you're not IFK, it's not a problem. The normal position you would have in terms of length. Okay, Kokotsudachi, yay! Left leg forward. Hey, shit! Okay, so what I would like you to do, if you're not an IFK member and you're normally here, bring this forward for me today. You can do whatever you want in grading, but for today's exercise, let's do this, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to feel the weight, as you should do, on the ball of the foot. We're going to shift the weight forward, out and back. Not out and back. Just a little shift, out, back, out, back, out, back, okay? Nice and easy to start off with, no power. Let's just get this movement, slight movement of maybe 2 to 3 inches. It doesn't have to be major. And in time with how this hand goes out and back, like this, but we're in a Kokotsudachi position, okay? So, arms up in like an Agauchi position. You can even be an Agauchi or a Tatsuki, but the hands are going to be in the same place. Okay, let's just do 10 on each leg. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And okay, change legs from side this time. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this time we're using this forward momentum. We was fairly square on this one because Agauchi tends to be fairly square in a lot of people. Now we want to start to push. Now the leg doesn't come in this way. It goes in the direction that the punch is going. It loosens off from a Kokotsudachi and it just edges ever so slightly in the direction of that punch is. If you're hitting towards the outside shoulder, then it would go forward. If we're just coming across, just angle slightly, allowing nice body rotation ever so slightly. Okay, same thing. 10 on the left, 10 on the right, a little bit more of a fluid motion, a little bit more power this time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. Okay, other leg forward, and now rotating in ever so slightly, keeping a nice bend on this back leg. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. Nicely done. Right. Last set before we move into a fighting position. Didn't do the first one because I took loads of time. I've got a little bit more time here. So now we're going to go strict basic position, and we're going to try and combine those punches and techniques into an effective movement. So when we're in Kokotsudachi, remember, just because we're not swaying doesn't mean that we're not gripping with this front foot. Okay, we should be gripping here, in. So we don't have the movement now. We've got a grip on the lower half that keeps this lower half of the body really compact and sturdy to start driving good power. Okay. Now remember, Kokotsudachi is narrow, like the stance we did earlier. Okay, so try to get the speed with good power out of this technique. Okay, right, so left leg forward, Zengutsudachi, strict stance, good power, core, rotation from the top half, bottom half stays fairly static. Okay, ready? Just 10. 8, 2, 10, 9, go, run, 8, 8, 10, 9, Shia, Ante, other leg, ready, 8, 2, 10, 9, go, run, 8, 8, 10, 9, Shia, and relax. Okay, last one, just turn on each leg. What I want you to look at is as we go forward into the stance, we want to think of a rough Zengutsudachi position. Okay, lots of people when they punch, they just hit this way. Okay, I personally, when I punch, I'm here. The ball of the foot will come off the ground like we're in a Zengutsudachi position. I'm going to push my weight forward. I'm going to feel the weight here, drive in at that point. Bend like I'm in a Zengutsudachi position, but now my weight is 50-50. Okay, so we're in, push, in. Not sure if you can actually see my foot there. It's marginally off the ground in position. Don't come here, because the likes of Shia and Jeff Wybrow is definitely going to sweep you here. Okay, we need to keep our center of balance good. So we're not going here. We are in, drive the knee in the direction that the punch is going. Never this way. Okay, always forward towards that opponent. Feel the weight on the ball of the foot. You hit, and then we can push out nice and quickly because of our weight. Push in the, oh, okay, sorry, yeah. Cool. So we have a push, and then the rotation comes at the end. So think about the second exercise we did. We pushed, rotate, back. Okay. We push, we rotate, we retract, and we push back off of that front leg in the Zengutsudachi. Everybody make sense of that. Cool. Excellent. Right. Now let's punch some holes in people then. 10 on the left. 10 on the right, nice, strong, really fast, effective. Your normal stance. I don't care how that is, your normal stance. Okay? Let's go. Ready? Remember that. Push back. Zengutsudachi, push back into your normal position. We are bridging that gap still. Okay? 10. Then we're back to Wesley. Ready? 8. 9. 6. 7. Let's have a really quick drink this way to Wesley Town.
All the way across the pond.
Quite quick on that one. Wow.
Way across the pond. Time goes quick, very quick. All right then. Get yourself a quick little drink. I think this is probably the last punch we will do, and we will use a very long stance again. All right then. So,
alrighty then. I see how it works. I get the short ones because I'm short. He gets the long ones because he's long.
Very, very true. Yeah, very true. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use kaketsuki or a hook punch. Yeah, all of the punches we've done before can be used in fighting. Also can be used in kata or kion. Yeah, so that's what we're trying to look for today. So we are going to do this in. Where's my computer not? Okay. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this in Zenkuchidachi, yeah, probably the most common stance, yeah. There are a few things in different when you do a kaketsuki in Kion, when we do a kaketsuki or a hook punch in the fight, yeah. And I'm going to look at some of you guys. Are you punching in fighting? Are you punching the hook with your thumbs to the ceiling, or are you punching the hook with your thumbs pointing to yourself? And this is a very, very, very good discussion always. Yeah, I'm not saying anything is wrong. I'm not saying anything is wrong. But when you are fighting, and when you stand over there, and when you are fighting, and when you hit inside the elbows, so in between the elbows of your opponent, you always try, or that's what I say, you always try and hit thumbs up. Yeah. When you go longer, so when you try to go outside of the elbows, you can definitely try and go like a little bit like mawashi uchi. You can try and bring those two knuckles to the floating rib over there. Only very big problem is, and I'm one of the role models in this. When you do this and you hurt your opponent, the elbow will come in, and it might snap. I've had this.
Casualty of war. Casualty of war.
Yeah. 2 pins in there. I won the tournament with a broken hand, but it wasn't pleasurable. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Try to, when you go there and you go outside, think about the thumb. The thumb bone is very weak when you really hit and hurt your opponent. The elbow will go there. So I always try and go all the way over there. So when the elbow goes back, it hits the softer part of your thumb instead of the very hard little palm. Yeah? All right then, there we go. So what we're going to do, you're going to go in Zengutsudachi, and again, we're just going to work on a long stance and bring the hook forward with your left arm, left leg. And indeed, we're going for this one, thumbs up. Yeah? Zengutsudachi forward with the left arm. Kamaite. Shida. Shida. Good. All right then. Bring your right arm forward. So what we're going to do, every time I count, just bring it over there and go 90 degrees with the arm. 90 degrees. Yeah? Good. Like this. Good. All right. Ready? There we go. Ish. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Look. Dish. Ash. Cool. Ida. Shia. And Mawate. Other leg in front. So now, right leg in front, right arm. Ready? Ish. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Look. Stish. Ash. Cool. Shia. Shia. All right, left leg in front. Okay, so from a full Zengutsudachi, you just bring your back leg in a little bit, and now the heel will go forward, go up. So over there, what we're going to do, we're going to use the same punch, but we're going to allow ourselves a little bit more to twist and rotate. Not too much. Still try to be in the right position. Yeah? So we work Zengutsudachi, not a lot of movements in the legs to bring it into a clicker stance, and you allow yourself to move a little bit. Yeah? Nothing changes about the punch. Are we ready?
Push.
Back on forward. There we go. Ish. Knee. Sun. Shi. Go. Rook. Ish. Ash. Ku. Aya.
Shia.
Awate. All right. Right leg. Feel the burn a little bit on the upper part. Yeah? Ready? Ish. Knee. Sun. Shi. Go. Rook. Ish. Ash. Ku. Aya.
Shia.
And other side.
Push.
Head over here. Go into Moro Ashidashi. Yeah?
Push.
Bring the weight down when you come forward. Really try move the upper part of the body, but let the legs stay in there. Don't want to go like this. It's not like that. Yeah? Just go 1. Knees go forward. Yeah?
Push.
10 again. Ready?
Same on.
8. Knee. Sun. Shi. Go. Rook. Ish. Ash. Ku. Aya.
Shia.
Awate. Good. Right leg, Moro Ashidashi. Try to have a little bend on this. 1 degree forward. Yeah? Ready? Ish. Knee. Sun. Shi. Go. Rook. Ish. Ash. Ku. Shia.
Shia.
Good. All right. Shake loose.
Push.
So we had 3 stances from long to a smaller position. Every time you do this punch, you gotta use a little bit more of your core muscle in each stance. Yeah, especially when you're in a long position, you don't have the legs to go with you any way. So you have to use the core muscle to really throw it out. Don't go arm, arm, body, body. Yeah, you really want to drive them in. Yeah. So what we're gonna do right now is the last bit. I'm gonna go for a little bit of a fighting position. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna be in a small position, small fighting position. I'm gonna step out to the right, and I'm gonna drive in to the front. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna step forward to my opponent. I'm gonna switch to the side, and I'm gonna use this full movement and come back like a Mike Tyson hook. Are we ready for this? 10 on the left, 10 on the right. Think about it. It's not arm power, it's core power. It's the power out of your stance where it comes from. Yeah? Ready? There we go. And knee. Sun. Shi. Go. Roku. Shish. Ash. Ku. Aisha. Yeshia. Mawate. Other side. Other side. So, small stance, step out, and really drive your body into the hook. Yeah?
Osh.
Out and drive it in and come back. Ready?
Osh.
There we go. Aish. Knee. San. She. Go. Rup. Sish. Ash. Cool. Shia. All right, Mawate. So we're gonna add something to this. We're gonna step in, go forward, and now long out of the back arm. Yeah, I'm going forward. One, using the back arm like this to the floating rib. Yeah, I'm gonna go 1, 2. Yeah, and back. Step in. 1, 2. This is really long. Yeah,
Osh.
over there. 1, 2. Ready?
Osh.
Good, good. Come on, see. There we go. Aish. Knee. San. She. Go. Ruckle. Fish. Ash. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now what's it? Good, good. Other side. In, out. Yeah? Ready? Osh. Knee. San. She. Go. Rup. Dish. Ash. Cool. Aisha. Good. So, the last one is the last combination. We're gonna step in, body, ribs, chest or shoulder. Yeah? So I'm gonna go low, body, and over there. Yeah? The both lefts are gonna be like this. The right will be like this. Yeah? So I'm gonna go low, around, and then on the shoulder. Yeah? One more time slowly to my friend Darren. I'm gonna go low, around, and then to the chest. I'm gonna drive myself in there. Yeah? Good. 10, last 10. Ready? There we go. And aish. Knee. San. She. Go. Rup. Sish. Ash. Cool. Last one. Heisha. Heisha. Good. Mawate. Right leg in front. In. 1, 2, 3. Really drive it in on the chest. Yeah? Last one. Ready? Here we go. Aish. Ish. San. She. Go. Rook. Fish. Ash. Cool. Last one. Aish. Good. Alrighty then. Quick little drink. We go over to Mr. Stringer. Yeah. So when you try and do this combination, try to go forward just a little bit. Every time you do this, go forward. Bum, bum, bum. It's kind of like a Russian, Eastern European style of fighting. Hopefully, this adds something to your vocabulary.
Maybe you could think about Karate Kid 2 when he had that little dummy. Do a little bit better than that, though. So we have a little bit of time.
We have.
So what we'll do now, you just do one more round. You're going to pick the punches that you want to do, okay? Because we have a little bit of time, and then you can fluctuate between the punches. Remember, we've done 4 main punches: Oitsuki, Shitatsuki. It was either age or tate, which is pretty much the same thing, or a kakeski. Remember, we did them in a variety of ways, though. Kakeski, for example, here, multiple heights. Oitsuki can obviously become gyaku. Shitatsuki, we did multiple lengths, and with the age and tate as well, can be the gyaku also. Okay, so think about the variety of stances that we've used. Hopefully, what you've all realized is that even though some of the stances we've allowed movements going this way, ultimately it's the control on your position that dictates your power. Okay, and this is where the IFK structure and the way we deliver techniques actually is quite a positive thing, because it doesn't allow for surplus movements, if you know what I mean. Not too much sway, enough rotation, enough push forward, but always in the back of our minds, and this is not a diss to any other organizations, because it's definitely not, always in the back of our minds, we're thinking about the finished position and where we need to be after that, not necessarily about overcommitting, swinging the punch, which you may get a lot more power in, but we're thinking about actually doing the technique, retracting into a neat, tight position all the time. So please, again, if you're used to that little swaying movement, you probably have incredible balance, really good power base, but maybe you lack a little bit of the finesse position on the end. For the IFK people, we lack that transition between weight, between one leg and the other often. We stand a little bit too robotic at times, and we want to try and adapt a hybrid between both of them versions, because they both have positives and they both have negatives. Okay, so let's think about this. Remember, we've got effectively a Sanshindachi with Oitsuki, so it's kind of going to be your shorter base stance. For me, the other one was Agauchi, where we're just pushing off that front leg, and the same would happen with the back leg. It's just a rotation through, slightly different adaptation. With Wesley's Shitatskis, we had the small movement here, the backwards movement, and the long movement. Okay. Likewise with the kake, we had a little movement to the side, hit, and then round. Okay, so you've got lots of things to play with and lots of different positions. Please do try them out and make sure your transition is always good and not unfinished like this. Okay. Anything to add, Wes?
No, it's funny how we only used four basic punches, and there's so many ways you can go. You can go short, mid-range, long range, side to side, and stuff like that. So please think about this when you do this. It's only 4 basic punches, but we kind of give you so many varieties of this technique, and do try them right now, because a lot of the times when we work stuff that we are not used to, we always try and think, oh man, this is amazing, and then let's go spar. All right, let's go back to what we know. I really hope you guys will take this into the next exercise, where you really try all of them techniques out.
Okay, right. So 10 on the. So we'll do 20. We'll do 20 on the with your left leg forward. Remember, you can use back or front, and 20 with your right leg forward. It'll be a random count, random stances, and a random type of technique that you want to throw between all of them that we've done today. Please don't go off with Jutskis and Shitosukotsuruchis. Stick to what we did today. Hiya! Okay, ready? So, Kamachi, good. Whichever stance you want, float between them, count, hit. Okay, count, hit. Okay, let's go. Ready? Hemel. And hey, change your legs, right leg forward. Any punch, any stance, same thing applies. Whatever we've done today, try and use it, and don't just use the same thing all the time. Okay, ready? Let's go. Good. Then just relax. Get yourself a quick drink of water. And have a quick stretch. Mainly on the arms, of course. Any questions? Any input? Any output? Hopefully helps you understand how to transition your weight a little bit better. Maybe how to get out of the blocks a little bit better. Maybe how you feel the weight in one leg to the other. It is very, very important. And it won't work the same version all the time. That's very, very important. Okay. Let's have a little stretch with the arms. So, right, let's go on the ground. Start off with arms out in front and just push them backwards and down to the ground. Just hold all that stretch. Take your left arm through and just twist that lower back slightly. A lot of punching, and a lot of that comes from your back. And back to the center again. Exactly the same position we started from. And the right arm through, and again, twist on the lower back. and back to the first position. Okay, and lay flat down, face on the ground. You might want to look at me to start off with. Okay, so we're going to be here, and what we're going to do is we're just going to rotate the shoulder. Okay, nothing else wants to move, just the shoulder and the arm all the way around. So we're going towards the ground, up towards the ear. So uchi first, not soto. So we've got 10 on the left, 10 on the right, 10 on the left, and then we've got opposite direction with sotos. Okay, just the shoulder. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, ish, ach, ki, chew, and the left. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, ish, ach, ki, and back to the right. So this time we're coming on soto, upwards and then downwards. Ready? Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, ish, ach, ki, ju, ante, other arm. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, ish, ach, ki, ju, and just push up for a second. Just relax those shoulders off. Another couple of exercises down here. Just loosen them off a little bit. Okay. Hopefully you can feel your shoulders working there, and that should tell you that all the time you're punching with your arm only, look how tired you're getting so quickly. Need to use your body. Okay, right. So, hand out in front. Okay, so we're like this. So, what we want to do is we want to keep them both off the ground, and we're going to come out, around, keep the palms facing down, touch the side, and then back up, out, around, touch the side, and then down. Obviously, no movements on the body, just the arm, and try and get a full, long rotation here, okay? We've got 20 to do, alternate, right, then left, right, then left. Try and keep them off the ground, good position, and try not to lower this down so it touches the ground. Look at that. Okay, ready? Right hand first. Ich, ni, san, shi, do, ruk, ish, ach, get, ju, 10 more. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, Rup. Ish. H. Yeah. Last one. Yeah. And push up again. Release the tension off there. Just rotate one more. Okay. It's quite hard, I find these, and it really stretches my tricep at the end of that movement. Me, anyway, so I don't know what you guys are feeling. Right, so this time, last one, and we're going to look at using both hands at the same time, okay? So we're going to be here, down, out, in position. And all the time, we're trying to keep the palms facing down, okay? So you should feel like a really big bite I feel towards the end when I have to stretch out here and really try to bring it in, working on the mobility of the shoulder and extending some of the muscle strands as well, okay? Right, 10, both at the same time, out and then back, out and then back. Okay, done? Good, good. Okay, arms off the ground, edge. Try and really squeeze them into the hips if you can. Knee. Sun. Chi. Go. Ruk. Ish. Ach. Kill. Last one. Yeah. Yeah. And last one. Just stretch up, and then we're going to loosen off the triceps and stuff in the conventional way. So, just kneeling down or standing up, whichever you want. We've got a cross, over, round, and through to finish up on each side. Okay? So, left hand across the body. Oh, that's nice. Whew. Relax it off, up and over. Itch. And relax on the hip and pull forward. Itch. And pull through. Itch. And relax. Shake it off. Other arm across. Itch. And relax, up and over, itch. Relax on the hip and forward, itch. And relax and pull back through, itch. And relax. Okay. And we're done, people. Another session flown by. A little bit stronger than the normal Technical Tuesday because we knew Richie was turning up today. No, I'm just kidding. But still not too hard. Okay, so really concentrated on body movement, position, etc. We hybrided between the traditional Japanese version of a little bit more movement in the body in the IFK function where we're quite rigid, maybe not as much movement and understanding generally in transitioning weight. But what you should have read from it, but your basics where you're trying to explode all of that power and control that at the end is actually giving you a lot more power than you give yourself credit for. You just then need to understand that, okay, although I might be, if you're in an IFK structure, quite rigid in my stance position, doesn't move too much, I have a bit of rotation on my top half of the body, not too much going on in my bottom half of the body. All it is just a little bit of transitioning in understanding that way, and you explode the power that you're putting out with the control back into a neat position. Hopefully it was a lot of fun and a lot of education to all of you. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I know actually pretty warm now, so good for me.
Yeah, I was sweating after your bit already, Darren. So
yeah.
But
sign of getting older. I'm working hard. I'm going with the working hard.
Yeah. The thing is when you do basic punches, it's really important to think about all of the little muscles you use doing this. And if you really get to know this, and if you take out by go in a stance or something like that, you take out the legs, you really have only a few more muscles left, which you need to use to bring the power in there. And we try to really go into depth today, so you can really think about all of these movements, all of these muscles doing this, and then also be in the right position, be in a good stance, stay in a good stance, and then really throw it out. So I really enjoyed it, and I think I'm having some sore muscles for tomorrow, so that's we have a Super Saturday this week, right? Not a Thunder Thursday. Just to be sure.
Yeah, I think so.
We had a KR Talks last Saturday. We'll be having a Saturday this Saturday. Then we will have a KR Talks on the next Saturday. And then we will have the world's champion from Austria, Emmanuel Lebo from, I think he's Kyokushinkan, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Kyokushinkan. And he will join us on, probably, not 100% sure, but we kind of go for this, the 13th of March on the Super Saturday. Yeah, share us, like us, and thanks again. Been amazing.
Awesome job, guys. Keep up the great work.
Everybody can now unmute themselves, people.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Cheers,
Saturday.
Yeah.
Bye.
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 Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Awesome, guys. Thank you.
Right,
Thanks.
Take care.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. Awesome.
Well done, Frederick. Thanks for being here.
See you Saturday, guys. Bye-bye.
Take care, John. Bye-bye, Damon.
Okay, see you, man. Hey, Richie, how you doing?
Yeah,
Sorry?
not bad. Yourself?
Yeah, good, thanks. Good to see you, dude.
Thank you. No, really good. It's good to be back.
Yeah, good.
Good to have you, man.
Yeah, man. It's good to see you.
Nice to be back. It all comes back. It's I
riding
guess
the
muscle
bike.
memory.
Yeah, it's like riding a bike. No problem.
Easier.
Cool.
No, thank you for having me. So you say nothing on Thursday, no?
Nothing
No,
on
not
Thursday,
this.
Saturday. Casual wear on Saturday. If you didn't know, you can wear what you want. You can wear gi. Also,
This is my casual wear.
I know, but I'm just saying. You know, it's different.
I've just found it again. You can't tell me not to wear it now.
I've just put it on. I'm sleeping in it.
No comment.
Yeah.
So what time Saturday?
2 p.m. our time.
2 p.m.
I'll try my best.
Cool.
Bring your dad.
I've been trying to convince him. but you got more chance of mum doing it than dad, to be honest.
Both.
He's too busy with a bottle of wine most of the time.
Tell him you can always have one afterwards. We finish early enough.
You probably have one during, to be fair. But yeah, I'll try and get them both on. I'll tell them Jeff said, and then
Yeah.
Then he must.
they might just do as they're told.
Get him to listen to the podcast. That'll inspire him. That'll get anyone going.
That's it. I've got to listen to that myself. I've got a long job tomorrow, so I'm saving it for then.
Oh, yeah. It's about 90 minutes. So
how long?
90 minutes.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. I'll
Cool.
let you know what I think.
Part one.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'd be interested to see.
Thanks, guys. See you
Yes,
later.
bye.
See you soon,
Take
Jeff.
care.
See you soon.
Jeff, that was that podcast. I said to the guys earlier, that was fantastic. It was really, really inspiring, and I loved listening to it. It was really, I couldn't stop myself. It was fantastic. So, no, it's really, really inspiring.
Thanks for your words, Damon.
Yeah, no, well done for getting your thing up and going, and it's it was great. I loved it, and I'm going to listen to it again. So,
Good. I'm really pleased to hear it.
I'll see.
I think it went really well. To be fair, I did watch it back as well. Jeff, did you watch it back?
I watched it. Yeah, I watched it through. I was sorry about the noise, the drilling next door.
It's cool. It's one bit, and then you move to another room anyway. So
the only thing next time, try and make it bigger. I don't know how you can fill the frame more, because it's quite small in YouTube. You know the way it's being uploaded.
Yes.
So when I watched it, and then maybe it's just on my phone actually. Thanks, sir.
Not sure.
Put it on full screen, can't you? I put it on full screen.
So when I go sideways, but I don't know. It might just be my phone, but that's what that's what happens.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I know what you mean, man. Yeah.
I don't know.
We kind of figured out, or we asked. We didn't figure out. We asked how to get all the people in there as well, because we were talking, and then every time Jeff was talking,
Like
Jeff, and then we want to have it like this the next time. But yeah, we learn on the way.
It was done like this, wasn't it? The four of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a bit in the settings that meant you didn't record like this. It just records the speaker. So, sorry about that. If you want to do it again, we can go again.
Do that for part 2. That's great.
Yeah.
And then part 3, you could do something different. It'd be great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, keep it fresh.